welcome to Megawhat, where each week we give you the lowdown on the latest piece of kit from the world of technology and gadgets. Well, this week we've come down to the South Bank to learn about geocaching and what that entails. Stay tuned to find out more. So we're here with Laurie from Gamin and also an avid geocaching expert to tell us a bit more. So what's it all about?
Well, geocaching, despite the beard and jumper reputation, is basically a modern day GPS treasure hunt. So instead of having your map and compass and X marks the spot, we have one of these.
How does it work?
It depends what kind of cache you've got. There are two different types. The straight geocache, where all you need is one of these, stand in the various location, hit go and walk to it. Or there are multi-caches, which have got clues and hidden treasures at each point, which can lead you to an end point.
So we're down at the Tate, quite obvious where we are. I understand there's a cache nearby.
There is.
And you're going to show us how to go and find it?
I hope so.
Excellent. Stay tuned.
With almost 750,000 geocaches around the world, it's actually not that hard to find one in your local neighborhood. Now, a really good site to do this is geocaching.com. All you have to do is type in a postcode that's near you. So we're going to go for 7RB. And then all of a sudden this gives us a list. Luckily, there's a mashup with Google Maps that allows you to just scan around the page to find different caches and different information. We've found this one looks quite interesting. Now you can click on the actual cache itself. It will give you a listing of where it is. It gives you a grid reference if you're logged in. We've already done that. There's some clues. There's a code which you can decrypt if you really want to get into the whole treasure map sort of stuff. Once you've done that, you can download the cache, connect it into a Garmin device that's supportive of that, and away you go.
So we've located a cache on the computer, on the website. We've downloaded it onto the device. What do we have to do then?
Well, with this specific GPS device, geocaching software is included.
Right.
So all you have to do is name it, bring it up and press go, follow the arrow. Simple as that.
Now, is that sort of the average for most of these devices, or is it just this one that allows you to do that?
Well, this is the top of the range device, the Oregon 400T. However, we do have lower range devices where you can just literally plug in your coordinates and follow it to a lesser degree.
Right.
So instead of downloading the geocache sent to GPS, as you did, you can just plug them in manually.
Right. Excellent. So, what does it tell us to do now?
Right, so this particular one shows the Tate Modern behind us there.
Yeah.
So we now need to walk around the Tate Modern in order to find the cache.
Okay, let's go. The level of detail is quite... Can you zoom in on the map? Is that...
You can, absolutely. It's touch screen, so you can zoom in. It's just street by street detail. You can also have topographics, so you can tell the lay of the land. So if you do fancy going geocaching in the Sahara, you can tell by sand dunes.
Yeah, I was going to say, because surely that must be, you know, we're doing quite an easy one in an urban environment, but can you... I presume you can do them in the countryside. Is that where the sort of majority of them are?
Absolutely. There are lots of urban caches, but also country ones too. So, for example, New Forest, even in the Sahara. It just kind of depends where you're going to.
What's the most interesting cache you've done?
Personally, the pub crawl cache. It's another urban one. It's the one around London.
How does that work? You have to find pubs with a cache?
Well, there's something called a nano cache, which is a tiny little magnetic cache. Nothing in it but a scroll of paper.
Right.
So they stick them to places, lampposts, etc. And you have to find them and write your name down in them as a log. And a lot of them are hidden around pubs. So the idea is you go from one to the other to the other.
So how many pubs did you manage to do on that day?
I can't tell you that. Not one for the under 18s, obviously.
Right. And so do you find that is there always something in a cache when you get to it?
Unless it's been stolen, yes.
Right.
There is obviously an issue with people not knowing that caches exist, come across them by accident, taking things out. But generally there are logbooks, bits of paper, trinkets, and last year Land Rover actually borrowed a car.
Okay, cool. That sounds like good fun.
Yeah, it's quite a karmic way.
So how are we doing? Are we on the right route?
We are. We just need to keep going around the building.
Excellent. Let's keep going.
So as you can see, we're quite close to where the cache is hidden.
Right.
Unfortunately, this is where we have to leave the cameras.
Okay.
Geocache is very precious about showing where the cache is hidden, and we don't want to spoil anybody's fun.
Excellent. Right, well, you heard that, guys. I'm afraid we're going to have to leave you here. Ben, cameraman, go and get a coffee. We'll see you in 5. So we've actually managed to sneak away from Laurie to give you the lowdown on the Garmin Oregon 400T, and here it is. This is the one we've been using today to work out where that geocache at the Tate Modern actually is. So what do we think? Well, actually it's a really nice device, pretty rugged, so adventurers, explorers will like it. I think it's probably be able to drop. It's got a colour touch screen. Now the only downside of this touch screen is that's as bright as it gets. If you can't see what I'm talking about, well then Just think what it would be like if it's bright sunshine. It's a strange move, especially when it's designed for the outside. But get past that, there's some really nifty features. So you've got a regular GPS map, which obviously allows you to find yourself, move around with a touch screen, which is quite easy to do. It has a, let's get rid of that, it has a digital compass, which would be very handy for, well, finding your way in the undergrowth out in the bush. Elsewhere, what was really nice, obviously it's got 3D views, it's got elevation plotting, so if you're doing geocaching that involves walking up a hill, then this is going to warn you that you're about to walk up a hill first. Very handy. Other than that, you can obviously just actually punch in your geocaches direct from geocache.com straight to this device, which is quite lazy, so you don't have to worry about typing them in manually, which is quite nice. And then there's even a really nice feature which every geocacher needs, which is when the sunrise and the moon rises, so you can maximize, well, when you're going to find stuff and it's not going to be too dark by the time you get there. £400, it is the flagship model, it is the, well, the Rolls Royce of these things. However, it does offer lots, and apart from that disappointing screen brightness, well, we can't think of much more that you'd want. And the really nice thing is when you open it up at the back, all it is powered by 2 AA batteries. And you don't have to worry about looking for a charger when you're out camping. And that's the Garmin Oregon 400T. So we've rummaged through bushes, we've dragged ourselves around lots of different places because it was actually, well, it's quite easy to find, but not as simple as we thought it would be. We even had to look it up on the website for a quick hint of where we found it. And guess what, guys? We found it. Look.
Woohoo!
Woo! Yes, excellent. So it's a Tupperware box. So I'm going to go through it and see what we've got, and then hopefully if there's anything I don't understand, you can help us out, Laurie. So we've got a camera. What?
Camera is another form of logging. So
Okay.
basically everybody who visits the log will take a picture of themselves, and it means the person who started the cache can have a record.
Now there's a fish with a
There
tag
is a
around it.
fish.
What does that mean?
Yes, this little thing here is what's called a travel bug.
Okay.
So the idea of a travel bug is that this little guy will go from place to place. So there is a code on the front of the travel bug which makes it unique.
Okay.
So the idea is you set it a journey. So for example, you could say, I want this to get to Sydney, Australia,
Right.
and see him travel, and you can always watch where he's been.
Now, how do I find? Do I just go onto the website and find?
Yeah, if you go onto the website and log the unique number,
Okay.
you'll be able to find what his mission is.
And then hopefully someone will say, I found this,
Yeah,
and update
absolutely.
that site.
I believe that you've got something to hide later.
Yes, well, the producers decided that we could do it with a Megawhat cow.
Ooh.
Fantastic. We've got a, they've got a travel bug there, so
They
that's cool.
have. Yeah.
We got some corporate branding of Megawhat TV. Stay tuned, watch it here, and then we've got this coin. Now, what's the coin?
This is what's called a geocoin.
Okay.
So the idea of this is very similar to the travel bug, and then this little guy will go from place to place.
Cool. Excellent. Right. So we're gonna, and then we've got a logbook.
We do.
So let's pull this down very quickly. Look. So this should tell us, hello there, congratulations on finding your geocache. Please take a photo of yourselves with the included camera and place it in the box. Don't forget to sign this book too. So the first one was
First to find is Lucian.
Lucian. So he was first to find. Look, he's even got his own stamp. Look at that, isn't that impressive? 28th of Feb 2009, so this must be quite a new one.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, some of them can last for years. It just depends on the location of the cache and whether or not they've been muggled or found by somebody else they shouldn't have been. A muggle is somebody who doesn't go geocaching. So often these geocaches can be found without people knowing that they're geocaching.
So I'm going to scroll this in. I'm going to take a picture of the cameraman. There we go.
Fantastic.
Contained in history forever. Thing we got. I'm afraid, Mr. Cow, you're going to have to get squashed. Poor little guy. Is he going to go in? Sorry, no cows were harmed in the filming of this episode.
Well, they Megawhat TV presenters were slightly.
Yeah, just squished. Right.
It's good to go.
Okay, so now we've got that. We've got our bit. We'll put that back in our pocket. We'll put this back where we found it, so the next person can do it, and that's it. We're done.
We're done.
Fantastic.
Geocache complete.
So we've done our first cache, and very exciting it was too, which is great. We've got our little cache prize, which we're going to go and find another cache to put this in. We've left the Megawhat moo cow. Interesting, I hear you say. Well, basically, if you can find it, it's the, what's it called? It's the Geotate thing. It's basically the Tate geocache. Look it up on geocaching.com, find it, grab the cow, milk it for as much as you can, and then move on. Get it? Move on to another cache and put it there. And let's see how far around the world you can get it. And you can email us if you do find the cache. Details on the website. That's Megawhat TV. All that's left is to say thanks very much to Laurie. That's brilliant. Thanks very much. Good fun.
Great fun. I think we should go and find our next cache now. I think it's pub cache time.
Pub cache. This is what I like. I'm Stuart Miles. This is Megawhat TV. Thanks very much for watching.